Welcome to Vegan Finds, where we're going to go from this to this. Lion's mane spring rolls with some sweet pickle Siracha aioli. Alright, so we've got some lion's mane mushrooms here, and in the combo version of Mushroom Week and Fun with Rice Paper Week, we are going to be making some spring rolls using these beautiful lion's mane mushrooms. So I'm going to prep these up and I will show you what I'm going to do with them.
They look like big giant cotton balls.
They do look like cotton balls, but they taste like crab. So right here I have a very small green radish. You'll find these in the Asian markets. They're usually like as big as your arm. They're in the daikon family, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of just slice this up into matchstick. You know what, I'm going to do them into little very thin half moons here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sauteing these up because they will start to take on the flavor of whatever you're cooking. So these are great additions to soups and stews because they add a lot of nutritional power. And as far as their flavor being, they're like a sponge, and that they're very flavor neutral. So you don't have to worry about having some weird flavoring from a radish in your dish. So we're going to slice this up like so and just get them ready. Doris will be a tablespoon. Joining in or not, I do not know. She made herself some kale chips. Did you hear that? She made some kale chips. She didn't offer me any. She just gobbled them down.
That's not true. I offered you the kale chips. Kale chips are not lunch, by the way.
They're not?
No. They're in place of me eating potato chips.
Oh, smart girl, smart girl. Okay, so I'm going to put a little knob of vegan butter into our pan here. Let it heat up. Once that melts, I'm going to add in our radish. But I'm now also going to chop this up into smaller bite-sized pieces. I don't want to chop it too fine because it will fall apart, but I will chop it up so you can just see. You can see what it looks like on the interior here. It's, you know, very meaty. Even though the outside is rather fuzzy, it's a very meaty texture in the middle. Butter is starting to melt here, and I really want these to be kind of soft, but still have a little bit of bite to them. So we're going to saute that. And while that's sauteing, I'm going to continue to chop my mushrooms. When you're storing these mushrooms, you want to store them in like a paper bag. They tend to absorb a lot of moisture. They're very moist mushroom, we'll say. Just like they look. They're very sponge-like. Okay. Pan is going and just gently sauteing. I'm going to let this cook for about a minute, then I'm going to add the mushrooms. Okay, so I'm going to add my mushrooms. Now you could do a lot of things with lion's mane. You could turn them into crab cakes. You could coat these and fry them, turn them into like almost like a scallop taco type of thing, or you could just saute them like the way I'm doing right here. In my dish here, I have 1 tablespoon of kelp flakes and 1 tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. I'm just going to sprinkle that over. This is going to add a more seafood-esque like flavor to our dish here. Oh, it smells really good. I might need to add a little more butter to this. There we go. So you're going to want to cook these down till they're hot and cook through. So they're starting to get there, but they're not quite there yet. So while these are cooking, I'm going to prep the rest of what I'm going to fill our spring roll with. Okay, so I have some Trader Joe's vegan cream cheese. I'm going to add a little bit to our mix here, because this is going to help with the filling. I could use a bigger knife. The better to cut you with, my dear.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I wanted to add just like a couple drops of Siracha or some sort of spice.
Okay. You want Tabasco or you want Sriracha? Tabasco would be a much more traditional choice.
I think we're going to go with Tabasco, since we have almost no Tabasco in here. So I'm going to do a couple drops. That might have been more than a couple. Alright, that looks good. So is it finished? Is this ready?
I don't know, you tell me.
It looks ready. Okay, so our filling for our wonderful little spring rolls is now done. Now we're going to prep the spring roll part.
Okay, so I'm going to take over for Stuart here. So I'm going to use our smaller rice paper, and you know the drill. We're going to put it in warm water, although I made this water a little hotter than warm. I let it run a little too long. All right. It's done. It's done. Now, do you want it to more look like a crab ragout?
No, I want it to look like a spring roll.
You want it to look like a spring roll. Okay. Don't take too much filling for each one, because, you know, it's gonna like implode. So we're gonna fold. We're gonna fold. We're gonna roll. And we're gonna roll that little baby. And we got a nice good tuck, so it shouldn't come apart. Alright, so we're gonna do one more on camera, and then I will finish these off camera, because there's a lot of filling here.
Sorry. I overdid it.
Now, if you want to get fancy, you probably could add a little Old Bay to the water, or kelp to the water, kelp flakes to the water, and then in that we'll pick up more of the flavoring of.
Do you want to sprinkle maybe the thing with a little bit of Old Bay?
No, if you want me to do more Old Bay, what I'll do is I'll add it to the water of the
spring roll?
Spring roll.
Yeah. Well,
because what happens is when you add it to the wrapper of the spring roll, it really does take on that flavor.
where'd you put it?
I put it away.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I didn't?
You did not.
And I'm bad.
I'm always getting yelled at for that. And by the way, when you see the chicken of the woods recipe, that led to quite a little bit of an argument between us. She kept telling me I was making it wrong. You're making this wrong. And I said, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm making chicken of the woods marsala, and I made chicken of the woods piccata. So when you see the recipe, it's going to be should have been masala, ended up piccata.
So I kept saying to Stuart, masala has cream and mushrooms. Piccata has capers
and wine.
And wine, and wait for it, lemon juice.
I had a brain cramp.
He's like, no, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. You know what you're talking about.
We lost. It was so hot, I just couldn't think. That was it.
Yeah, that's what he's blaming it on.
I'm blaming it on the heat.
He's blaming it on the heat. In reality,
I'll blame it on Rio.
And in reality, you know,
I usually blame Canada.
I don't want to blame Canada for anything anymore.
No, I love Canada.
I love Canada, by the way. So if anybody's Canadian and wants to sponsor my citizenship, please leave a comment down below. I know the entire Canadian national anthem.
Any good hockey fan.
Right, any good hockey fan knows the Canadian national anthem.
Except then I have to say a boot.
A boot. A boot.
Although I don't know anybody who says that. I've only seen that on TV.
One of the Rangers players used to say a boot. Can't remember which one. One of the Canadian guys. He didn't say about, he said a boot.
You said you were going to shut the camera off.
I know, I lied.
This is far more entertaining, I'm sure.
I lied. Gotta give them their money's worth.
They're not paying anything.
Oh, that's right. And we're not getting paid.
But we are.
Damn monetization.
We are eating good.
Damn YouTube monetization policies.
So for the,
I think I'm gonna make lion's mane
spring rolls.
Spring rolls.
I did say that.
Okay, this is our absolute last one. Thank God.
Should I do like a garlic with this?
And we're done.
All right.
So now we're gonna pop these in the air fryer, and Stu's gonna figure out his dipping sauce.
Okay, so you can see that our spring rolls are now done, and in here I've got a 1/4 cup of vegan mayonnaise. To it, I'm adding a tablespoon of sweet pickle relish and a generous helping of Siracha. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that the kelp flakes that we used are very kelpy. And if you're unsure about how you feel about kelp, you're definitely going to cut back on the amount that I used. Matter of fact, if I was making this again, I would, instead of using a tablespoon, I'd use a teaspoon. The brand that I'm using, let me just see if I can find the container. Oh, I'll tell you the brand that I'm using is, well that makes a sense, is Maine Coast Sea Seasonings. And I will tell you that it's rather salty flavor as well. So again, if you don't want fishy elements to your dish, you can actually omit it and just use the Old Bay. That would be fine. I'm going to take a taste. That is good, really good. You get a little fiery kick from that Tabasco on the inside. It's creamy on the inside, crunchy on the outside. If you wanted to deep fry these for an extra crispy flavor or texture, go right ahead. I did the air fryer because we've had quite a bit of deep fried food recently, trying to cut back a little bit here and there when I can. So if you like these recipes, please click subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. What else was, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up. I'm sorry, I'm so hungry. I can't think. And I don't know if there's anything else that I need to add. Be safe, enjoy, be healthy, share your thoughts with us. Let us know what recipes you like to cook. We're always looking for things to make. We've gone over 100 straight days without a repeat. We're trying to continue that trend tonight. So stick around and come back and be well.